You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello and welcome to episode 268 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's your host Sean, and with me today are two special guests making their podcast debut. We've got Dakota and Luke. How the hell are you guys?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Very good.
Good. Now, Dakota, you and I have known each other for a long time.
You could say that.
How would you describe our relationship?
You're my dad. It's the best way to put it. You're my dad. You raised me. You gave me a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. You are my son Bishop's older sister.
Yes.
Yes. And Bishop is over there in the corner. He might say a few words.
Probably not.
Okay. All right. And Luke, who are you?
I am your daughter's fiance.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes. And I met you for the first time yesterday.
Yes.
So, we're going to talk about how this all came about. You guys have been in a relationship for how long?
Coming up on 4 years, right?
I think
That's
so.
math.
Yeah.
4
4
years.
years.
Okay. And in 4 years, how many actual days have you spent together in person, in real life?
That's a good question.
Approximately.
Approximately a month.
A month.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take maybe 2 days, a month.
That's not bad. In 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, COVID kind of threw a big wrench into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so let's get some background. 4 years ago, how did you guys meet?
So I came up here. I like to travel. I just go places, especially when I didn't have a whole lot of obligations with my job and stuff like that. I was using any excuse I could to travel.
Okay.
And one of those excuses was, how far north can I go before civilization disappears? And I ended up here for New Year's.
In Timmins.
Yes.
Did you know Dakota at the time?
Briefly.
Like, did you come up here for her, or?
It just happened to work out.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it wasn't a part of it through mutuals and stuff like that online. But it was mostly just I knew of this place because of Dakota.
Okay.
But my goal was to go north.
And you did.
And it just happened.
So how did you guys meet? Like, did somebody online introduce you guys? Was it a chat group you were in? Do you even remember?
We were just kind of hanging out online in different... So we use VR. VR is a big thing of our relationship, and VR was something that I started in just because I thought it was interesting. It was a cool new thing.
Yeah.
Like gaming?
Yeah, gaming in VR, and we
Virtual
happened to
reality.
be the virtual reality. We happened to be in the same world and had mutual friends, and so they didn't introduce us. We just happened to be there and started talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you decided you're going to travel up north until you run out of civilization.
Yeah.
And of course you ended up in Timmins, which is the end of civilization.
Yeah.
So.
And with the storm that was going on and everything, I couldn't push it any further, and I also couldn't find any flights further.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So you guys...
We decided to meet up for New Year's, basically.
Okay.
And basically kept talking ever since.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It was more so just You know, it was a happenstance kind of thing that snowballed into
And now we're engaged.
that.
But before we get there, you're from Arizona.
Originally, yes.
And so you were born and raised there?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's too hot for you.
Yes, very much so. That's putting it lightly. Yeah.
Okay. So when did you guys get engaged?
Technically, I asked 8 months ago? 6 months ago?
I'd say 6.
6 months ago.
So that's after you moved to Wisconsin to be closer to her.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I finally was like, we were kind of wanting to move it slow, but still be near each other. But after a while, it got to be the point where it's like, for lack of a better term, screw it.
There you go. There you go. So it was February of this year.
Yes.
That you moved to Wisconsin.
Yes.
Which is about 12-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
10 to 12?
12 hours.
Yeah.
12 hours with no traffic. So I'd give it 13, 14
Okay.
on average.
It's quite a trip.
Yes, it sounds like it. But you flew up here and stayed.
I flew up here. I still have connections to get discounts on American Airline through my family.
Nice.
So it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Air Canada willing.
Right.
But that's a whole nother bag of worms.
Well, for sure it is. Yes. Okay. So you've been up here about a week and a half now for this trip,
For this trip, yes.
and you're leaving in a couple days.
Yes.
And is this the most amount of time you guys have been able to spend together solidly, or?
This is tied. This is about
tied,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The second time I came up here was for the same amount of time.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry. The second time was. And that was 2.5 years?
It was over 2.5 years ago.
That's the last time you saw each other?
Yes.
In person.
Yeah. And so how do you maintain the love over at VR or phone calls or whatever you got? What do you guys do?
Constant communication.
It is borderline nonstop for 24 hours. The best way to kind of describe it is another job, but not like it's a hassle. Just the amount of time that it takes to make sure that communication is there. From when I wake up, there is a message sent out.
Okay.
Usually, and recently it's been by you sending the message first, the good morning one.
That's because you sleep in.
I can sleep in now.
Ah.
But and then as soon as both of us are off work, it is instantly into a call. That is where we stay for basically 8 to 10 hours.
Okay. Well, we'll get into more of that right after a promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
You know what now's a good time for? It's time for a promo for the Cosmic Pizza Podcast.
The Cosmic Pizza Podcast, you say?
That sounds delicious. What is that? It's a delicious slice of life.
In every episode?
In every episode, where we talk about conspiracy theories,
Cartoons of our childhood,
Star Trek quizzes?
movies that we've liked.
pod racing, general pop culture,
Fantasy recasts?
But what we don't talk about is pizzas.
right here on the ESO Network.
And we're back. Okay, so this 8 to 10 hour a day phone call, is it video? Is it just audio? Is it a little bit of both? Is it VR? Like, how does this all work?
Depending on our moods, so it's a little bit of both. At first, we were doing mostly VR. VR was the easiest way to go about it because you have a lot of motion.
Are you seeing each other or avatars?
Avatars.
Okay.
Avatars that we create.
Yeah.
So they are representative of kind of us physically,
Okay.
but more us emotionally, mentally.
So when you guys see each other in person, you're like, you don't look like your avatar. You're not pixelated.
I don't think we had that reaction.
No.
That's good.
We did share pictures of each other.
Yeah.
And video calls.
Yeah, we did do video
So.
calls, and
Good.
so we did the spectrum as well. But like, there is always that part of it that's like, you still do associate a person with that. Like, there is imagery I associate Dakota
Okay.
with those avatars, but not necessarily see Dakota as those avatars.
Good. Okay. That makes sense. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the exact same.
Yeah.
I had nothing more to input into that. You explained it pretty well.
So, but since the last time you guys saw each other was 2.5 years,
Yeah.
you saw each other for the first time about, let's say 10 days ago after these the COVID break and
Yeah.
everything. How was that? Was it weird? Was it awkward? Were you scared? Were you nervous?
I was nervous at first, but it went away as soon as I saw him.
I was excited as hell. So
Good.
I was. I had just slept in Toronto airport, so I was happy to be anywhere not there.
That makes sense.
And it was just nice to come to someone that I love and appreciate. So that made it infinitely better.
And these last 10 days, you still love and appreciate?
Oh, absolutely.
Good. And it's just growing stronger, I bet?
Every single day, for sure.
How does that make you feel?
Loved.
Good. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it is. Loved
Okay.
and appreciated.
So the next thing is you're going to move to Wisconsin
Yes.
to be with him.
Yes.
And you have 90 days once you move there to get married? Because you're a 90-day fiance. Are you going to be on TLC?
I want to. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Did you send him an email?
No.
Oh,
No.
Would have been an idea, though, now that you
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it. I didn't even know
Maybe
that was
we
a
could have
show.
gotten funding from them.
but that's true, though, right? You have to
Yes.
get married within the 90 days once you move there?
Not once I move there. We have to apply for the fiance visa,
Okay.
and there's a waiting period. I don't know how long it is because,
It's
governments and whatnot. We don't know.
60 days, usually.
It could be. They said their wait times all over the place. But anyways, you have to wait that period until they approve the visa.
And then you can go?
And then I can go, and then we have 90 days to be able to we have to get married within those 90 days after their approval.
I should throw this stipulation in there that you can come down on a visitor visa,
Okay.
which is 90 days.
Ah,
And then while that gets reset with the fiance visa,
okay. So you could be together for 180 days.
Right.
if everything goes
and
well.
in all technicality, you can go to the States at any time and stay there for 6 months.
Just as a visitor.
Just as a visitor.
Okay.
So you can stay there for 6 months and then...
There's a lot of
there's a lot of loopholes.
And I guess it works differently because we're Canadian and you're
Exactly.
American.
Correct.
It's not like you're from Brazil or something.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
would be a lot different.
Yes, actually, fun fact, my sister married a man from New Zealand.
Ah,
So so I got to watch that process,
okay.
and that was way worse.
Was it?
Yes. New Zealand government does not like people leaving.
Oh.
They don't like people coming in either.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Ah,
So they had about a 5-year battle for that.
oh, that's a lot.
Even once he was in the States. So
Okay.
ours is minuscule in comparison. So I with my perspective, I'm taking this kind of just as we go kind of thing.
Okay, that's fair. And your major battle, I guess, has been trying to get your passport.
Yeah.
You've been trying to get this for what, a year now? At least?
At least. Because at first it was, it'll be about 3 weeks. I'm like, sure, no problem. I sent it out. Everything was fine. And then it got declined. But I wasn't told it was declined.
Oh,
No, it was just declined. And then I got all the paperwork back. And I was like, all right, well, let's go bring it in person then. Bring it in person. They tell me, it's going to be 9 weeks. All right, any way to make that faster? No. All right, well, I got to get it out. Let's give it a try. So I send it out. 9 weeks comes along. I give them a call because I still don't have it. They laugh and go, you're in Timmins? 17 weeks. Like, oh.
and this week coming up is the 17th week.
This week, yeah, should be the 17th week. So I should, fingers crossed that I get it.
It should be in the mail this week.
It should be.
Do you think that's going to happen?
I hope so. I don't know, but I hope so.
I have zero faith.
I have a little
zero
faith.
in
I have
that.
a little faith.
I would agree with that.
I have some faith.
It's been quite the adventure.
Yeah, you could say that.
So once you get your passport, what's your next step? Is that when you then apply for the visitor thing?
We're gonna apply right away.
Okay.
Once he leaves, he's
Yeah.
going to run over all the documents, make sure we have everything, that it's all good, and then we're gonna send it off because we know the wait period is a long time.
Okay.
So might as well send it as soon as we can.
Yes, we actually spent some time filling it out. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
No, it was 2 days ago. It
2
was
days ago.
Friday.
And so we have it mostly filled out at this point, and it
Okay.
luckily doesn't require any of her passport information.
Good.
Oh, wait,
No, it didn't.
no, it doesn't.
'Cause you
And
have
then,
Right.
yeah, but we can still submit it with proper documentation, photos that we're not doing this for tax purposes, yada yada yada,
Right.
so on and so
One
forth.
of the things in big bold letters said that I need photos of him or me with his family or him with mine.
Okay. Yeah.
That was like a big necessary bold letter
Yeah.
kind of notice.
Okay.
All right, need pictures. Got it.
All right. So next step, after you get your passport, get all the paperwork done. Right now it's mid-November.
Yeah.
When do you expect yourself to be over in Wisconsin living with him?
I'm hoping for New Year's to kind of tie in back to when he first came up here.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I hope. That's my goal.
Yeah.
But, I need my passport first.
Right. Okay.
So, brings me to the end of December.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you've learned from this whole experience? Your happiness, your sadness, your trials, tribulations, whatever?
Communication is so important.
Yeah.
I know that gets stressed a lot in TVs and movies and whatnot, or you hear that just offhand and you kind of shrug it off. No, it is very important to communicate and to be able to understand how to communicate with your partner.
Yes, and coming from the online scene, as Dakota and I have, it is something that we've seen other couples try this same thing over and over again. And they're much closer distances, like even the next town over kind of thing.
Okay.
And fail over and over again. And they end up coming to us because we've been doing this for so long.
Right.
And they're asking, why is it, what's different? What's going on? It is that communication. I know. Prime example, we had a point where we were in a call for 24 hours.
Oh, no sleep.
Well, sleeping, but just in the call
In a
because we
call.
wanted that comfort. We needed that connection to know that we're there.
Rough time for us both. So we just decided I took her into work on a little earbud.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of those things, and it just allows this comfort to be felt that isn't, something. It's not physical. It's this mental and emotional kind of connection that is really what drives both Dakota and I feel.
I agree.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I wasn't correcting you because you're right.
Well, you sound pretty great together, so
Yeah.
that's
Appreciate
awesome.
that. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Do we have your approval?
Yeah.
Dad, do you approve?
I do. he seems like a pretty cool guy, and he treats you well.
He does.
And I can see the love between you guys, so this is good.
I agree. It is good.
So that's fantastic. Do you guys participate in any social media that you would like our listeners to follow you on, or no?
No.
Not really. I guess I can throw it out there solely because I might be getting back to it. I used to stream on Twitch quite a bit. Not anymore, but I've been thinking about hopping back into the saddle there. So Red Means Go.
Is your username?
Yep,
Okay.
Red Means Go on Twitch. Like the opposite of the normal saying. So
Okay.
easiest way to remember.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thanks for sharing your story with me. Appreciate it.
Of course.
And we'll have to have you guys back on the podcast once you're married.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So listeners, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, when two souls are meant to connect, location, timing, and circumstances are all irrelevant. They suddenly become a magnet for one another, and despite their efforts to fight it, the universe somehow manipulates it all in their favor. And in that moment, when they finally give in, a new love is born.
A very long quote.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.